Hello, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing a video overview of the ETFs. Why do we look at the ETFs? It's not because we like to look at a bunch of charts all the time. It's because we have a limited amount of money, we have a limited amount of time, and we try to use those assets wisely. Here's a fact. Leading groups produce leading stocks produce leading groups. By looking at the ETFs, we can see where there's strength. So right now we're taking a look at the ETFs in alphabetical order. It's not sorted by relative strength or accumulation distribution, just in alphabetical order. So here we go. You can always look up at the top here and see what the name is. Robotics, all right. BOTZ, this is weekly on the left. It's trended up here and it's backed off and it's a little choppy right now. Many of these ETFs you're going to see look like this, kind of choppy, kind of loose. They're just poster child for the market. What do? We just help us A, get more aggressive, or B, become more cautious. This is a little loose, be cautious with it. All right, that sector. Cloud computing was acting really nice here. Here's the trend, and now it's gotten a little loose, as you can see. And right here, some volume selling. It's a choppier pattern, like much of the market. What does that tell you? Be careful with cloud computing stocks. Here we go. Diamonds. This, gaps down here, it gaps down here. Some selling volume here. You just have to be careful with it. There's not a lot of stuff going on with the Dow. All right, move onward. Dow Jones, Internet. All right, and it's basing nicely. Here's the weekly. You can see this base up here, and I'll draw it for you. And it's not fancy. There it is. And you've got the same thing here on, as you can tell by default, on the daily. What does it need to do? It needs to take out that line on a good pickup in volume. IBD 50 is choppy here. All right, it goes up and they take it right back down. It goes up, they take it down. It goes up and they take it down. Not all the leadership with the IBD 50. It is starting to trend up a little bit, and that is one slight plus. All right, continue onwards. First Trust, Dorsey Wright. This is tech related. It's choppy also, folks. It's just chopping around. Even here, it gaps down. A lot of these ETFs are the poster child for what the market's doing. Continue onward. This is China. In 1 second, it says, be careful with Chinese stocks. Look, and I'm not getting political here, nothing like that. We're just saying there's not a lot of opportunity in Chinese stocks right now. That's good to know. Gold miners, look at this. What does that say? In 1 second, it says I'm staying away from gold miners. Folks, there's tremendous power in knowing what to look for, opportunity-wise, and also what to avoid. So we leave it alone. Gold, same situation, leave it alone. Biotechnology, in 1 second, it tells you, stay away from biotech stocks. There's power in that statement, folks. Everybody's like, what should we look for? What should we look for? Flip that coin. What should we avoid? There we go. Continue onwards. Oil and gas exploration, starting to turn the corner a little bit. It's kind of wide and loose, though, here. Wide and loose patterns indicate high investor emotions. But it is starting to turn up a little bit in oil and gas, okay? Something to consider. Technology still hanging in there. Still going sideways. It's not crumbing down here, but it's just hanging in there. It said, maybe I should look at some software stock. It's kind of refusing to fall. That's good to know. Medicine, pretty choppy, okay? Whipping around. Look at this. It goes up, and here's a great lesson for everybody. It closes up on this bar here, right? There's no power. There's no volume. And the next day it gaps down and then it falls on a pickup in volume. Watch, always watch price combined with volume action. It will help you make better investing decisions. It will help you make money. It will also keep you safe. Mid-cap, iShare mid-cap, just kind of whipping around here too, folks. Up, down, up. You know what it is? That's a poster child for the market right there. That's what a lot of the stocks are doing too. Be careful. Here we go. Aerospace and defense is hanging in there. ITA, you can see on the weekly here, go across these tops here. That could be a potential buy. Or you can punch up and find out what the top 10 holdings are in ITA and see if there's something in there that may look good. That's why we do this. It's not because we like to look at a lot of charts. We want to be systematized. At Mission Winners, that's what we do. I've been doing it this way. I've been looking at these kinds of things for a long time. And it guides us where to go and what to avoid. U.S. home construction has been a great trend. Look at that. Is that beautiful? In a crummy market, we own some home construction stocks, and you all know about them, okay? Beazer, Pulte Homes, KBH, and they are MHL. They're working. They're working. And it's not because, oh, we're rocket scientists. No, the price and volume action of the stocks, but the price and volume action of the ETF, the weekly, was saying, hey, there's strength here. Look at me. You might want to buy some stuff in there. And we used this knowledge to get involved with those stocks. Continue onwards. iShares growth, it's hanging in there. That's not too bad. It got a little choppy here, okay? I'm not saying buy this, but as far as S&P 500 growth is concerned, that's not too bad. Look into the growth sector. There you go. Small caps, IWM, it's acting okay, but it's kind of loose too, all right? When you start stuffing, drops down, goes up, drops down. Be careful with that. Be careful with small cap stocks. There we go. Real estate's hanging in there. Oh, gee, what did I say? Real estate. Yeah, I guess that's related to home building. See how you connect the dots? There you go. Transportation, that's hanging in there too with airlines. Look at that. You can punch up IYT and somewhere to the top 10 holdings here. It's working nicely. Here's the weekly. It's slowly trending up. That's good to see. Oh, let me think here. Airlines, gosh, let me see. How do people fly? Oh, yeah, that's right, on paper airplanes. No, they don't. They fly on jets. Look at this. Isn't that neat? That's connecting the dots. At Mission Winners, that's what we do. And look, airlines. Okay, I'm not saying buy it now, but I'm saying back here, there's opportunity. And you can say, well, there isn't now. You'll take this knowledge right here that I'm sharing with you and said, by gum, I'm going to use that. That's what I'm trying to do at Mission Winners. Show you what to look at, what's important, what to avoid, what to do. There's power there. Let's continue onwards. Regional banking's pretty choppy. I'd leave that alone. Mid-cap's kind of grinding up. It's a little loose, though. A little loose, but it's not too bad. It's hanging in there. Here's the weekly. Some mid-cap stocks. Okay, that gives us an idea. Oil services. Look at the lift this has made. Look at what energy did here. There you go. Now, what does it say? Oh, it's made a good lift. Maybe I should look into some energy stocks. You could punch up OIH and find out their top 10 holdings. Maybe there's something good. That's systemization. Instead of looking at a million different things, why don't we narrow it down to stuff that groups that are acting good? Leading groups, leading stocks. There you go. That's what we talked a lot about that at the IBD meetups. For pharmaceuticals, what does this say? Yeah, they need drugs. Forget it for now. Leave it alone. Software, another software ETF. That's hanging in okay. All right? Looking at some software. It's okay. It's not a lot of power, but there's some. Also, this is a priceless lesson. You see this bar here? Oh, that's a bad bar. I'd like you to take a look. Where it opened, it gapped down and closed near the highs. They didn't sell that bar, folks. They were buying into it. Okay? Now, this is also another poster child for the market. Look what it does the next day. Things are a little sloppier, err to the side of caution. There we go. QLD's hanging in. All right, it needs to go across these tops here. And look what it does here. It gaps down, but then this day, Friday, it runs up, closes near the lows. Be cautious with that, okay, with the NASDAQ 100. Same thing's true with QQQ. Retailing, nice trend, but it dropped down here. It's kind of sloppy, folks, so be careful with retailing. Silver, in 1 second, it says stay away from silver stocks. That's it. You don't, well, maybe this is the buy. Why play the maybe game? Let's get in line with what is. That really helps us. Steel, it's acting okay. A little choppy, though. So this is called wide and loose. When you gap, whip down. Be careful with that, all right? Trying to help you there. Semiconductors are hanging in okay. What does this say? They're basing, maybe looking at semi stocks, all right? Spiders, kind of loose here, all right? And this is an important lesson right here. It gaps down, runs up, and then closes below where it opened on a pickup in volume. The spiders, this is a great proxy for what's going on in the market. It's telling you, be careful. Just be careful. I'm not being negative. No way. I love stocks. I love buying stocks. But I want to do it at the right time. This is a little choppy. Be cautious. Same thing's true with SSO. Solar. What does that say? And what has it been saying for a long time? Look at this. The whole year. Stay away from solar stocks. That's great to know. Most people don't even know that. Most people didn't even know it. But we did. You did. There it is. Stay away from solar. You'll get burnt. Okay, that's dad humor. I'm sorry. You got to have fun too. Small caps kind of acting a little bit better, but it's a low-level base. Not a lot of power in small caps. Be careful with that at this point in time. Uranium, there's nothing good there. I mean, look. It's dropped. Look at the drop here through the 50-day. Stay away from uranium stocks. There we go. Oil's picking up a little bit, low-level base, but it is starting to pick up, and there was decent volume. Energy, maybe some energy stocks. There you go, connecting the dots. Consumer discretionary, look at this nice trend. You can punch up VCR and find out what their top 10 holdings are. And this information's free, by the way. Find out what their top 10 holdings are, and you can say, gosh, yeah, no wonder that ETF was working. Look at what some of the consumer stocks did. There you go. That's power. That's connecting the dots. That's what we love to do. Continue onwards. Aerospace and defense is kind of hanging in here. Doesn't look bad here. Maybe a weekly cup and a handle. A little loose, though. Some accumulation, some distribution. Not a slam dunk setup, okay? Biotechnology, stay away. That's it. Here's the weekly, here's the daily. There's nothing great, leave it alone. And I'm not being cute and funny when I do that. I'm trying to reinforce the philosophy. If you have to look for it in the chart, it's not there. Another thing that I used to say at the IBD meetups, the air is better above a rising 50-day moving average line. That'll help you. Home builders hanging in, another home builder ETF, that's hanging in there. Look at that. And again, what do we own? We own it, I think four, maybe five ETFs, or excuse me, home building stocks. And it was telling us to get in them. It's not like we had a crystal ball. The chart was telling us, hey, you might want to look at some home building stocks. And we did. Continue onwards. Basic materials, that's how you build things. It's acting okay, but you see how, gaps up, gaps down, gaps down. Loose. Be careful with that, all right? Just passing it on. Communications is trending nicely. XLC. All right, looking at some communication stocks. You can punch up XLC and find out their holdings, and that could help you. Energy, loose. Whipping around here. Be careful with energy. That's powerful things to know. Undone. Financials, acting okay, but still a little choppy. A lot of stuff's choppy right now. Industrials, yeah, they're okay. They're not too bad. They're trending up. Look into that. Technologies, hanging in, just hanging in, but no, there's some increasing selling pressure coming into this on the daily. Be cautious with that. Consumer staples, stay away. Look, it's below the falling 50-day. When we make up our minds and say, I'm not going to buy stocks below a falling 50-day. I'm not going to buy ETFs. I'm not going to look at them. You will dramatically improve your investing results. You will make more money with less hassle. Continue onwards. Healthcare, they need a doctor. Look at that. There's nothing good there. Leave it alone. Healthcare. Consumer discretionary, XOY. This has been acting strong. And folks, I make this video every week. I look at the ETFs every day, okay, to see where there's strength or weakness to help guide us. I'm just looking at the daily and weekly charts, nothing fancy, no 5-minute charts. I haven't looked at a 5-minute chart this year. I can't remember the last time I looked at a 5-minute chart. I'll look at the 10. I'll look at the weekly, I'll look at the daily, hourly, 30-minute, and periodically 10 to look for a volume surge when it's pushing through a pivot. But the big picture's daily charts here, this is trending nicely. Metals and mining are hanging in there, not too bad. We're about done here. Oil, energy, it's lifted, but this is what you call wide and loose, folks. You get caught on the wrong side of this. Oh, this looks good. Oh, gosh. Oh, this looks good. Oh, be careful. Oh, let's lift in here. Bang, like that. Be careful with wide and loose chart patterns. I taught that for years at the IBD meetups. Retail is hanging in there. Apple has had a beautiful trend, and we've ridden this we bought this back here on the weekly. This is why I have weekly here. I'd like to show you something. Clean and simple base entry, folks. It's not fancy. It's not rocket science. Clean and simple base and trends. And if you look closely, this stock is not closed below the 21-day for this entire trend. Trends pay more than all the decisions that you'll make. Okay? So ride trends, sell some into strength, but ride trends for all they've got. Amazon is still trending. You can see this little base that it's forming here, going across here, and I'll draw it for you just to show you. Just needs to take out these tops, cross here, and do it on volume. Not a lot of accumulation in the chart right here on the daily. Okay, and you can see it's basing, but it needs to take out these tops. So there's Amazon, not bad looking. Continue onwards. Alibaba picked up a little bit, but this is deep in the base, folks. It may be the start, but let's see some semblance of a base form. I'd avoid that for now. Okay, here we go. BIDU, similar situation. It's pretty choppy here. I mean, look at this. It gaps up, wiggles around, gaps down, gaps up, closes, you know. It's just choppy. You're not going to see this in any book saying this is what you look for to buy, okay? Focus, this is for everybody. Focus on clean and simple chart setups, clean and simple bases that everybody sees. Why? Let's be very pragmatic about this, all right? If nobody sees what you see, are they going to buy? Well, there's nobody to buy it because nobody sees it. If everybody sees what you see, does it not increase the probabilities that A, they see it, and B, they'll buy? Yes, at Mission Winners, that's what we do. It's not fancy. It's not fancy. It's simple. It's conceptually correct. It's psychologically correct, all right? Continue onwards. Google's just chopping around here a little bit. Started to lift up a couple of days ago. Now it's pulled back. This is like the poster child for the market right now. It's just, you know, it was great back here. We bought it back here, all right? Had a great run, and now it's just chopping around. There's not a lot of power there. Needs to lift off the 50-day, which is the green line, and do it with really good volume. Well, watch. Maybe this will take out Friday's highs on really good volume and start to lift. Bouncing off the 50-day. Something to consider. Continue onwards. Goldman Sachs is nothing. There's nothing there, folks. Oh, maybe this is it. No. Stack the deck. Focus on high probability. Don't impose your will. This is choppy. You're not going to see this setup in any book saying, well, this is what you look for to buy. No, leave it alone. There we go. MasterCard. Now compare and contrast. Here's Goldman Sachs, looks pretty sloppy. Here's MasterCard. You say, that doesn't look too bad. I agree. Could this bounce off the, right here, bounce off the 10-day or the 8-period exponential moving average? That's the yellow line, and do it on volume? Yes. What's the one slight negative? It closed near its lows for the day on a slight volume pickup. So what do we need to see? We need to see price and volume power lift and crude through these tops. Until that happens, and we need a good market. Until that happens, wait. That's simple. Continue onwards. Meta, we're in Meta. Here's the weekly. Buys, and there you go. There's a buy right there. I mean, folks, trends pay. There it is. It's not rocket science. Don't overthink it. Now, looking at it now, fell on fairly heavy volume on Thursday, fell on less volume on Friday. It's right at this base. This needs to start to lift off and take off. Until that happens, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't add to it. We haven't. Let it work. We're letting it work. Trends pay. Let's see what it does. Starts to lose the moving averages. We'll sell more. Loses the 21-day. We may sell the rest. We'll have to watch and see. Price and volume will tell us what to do. But we have a plan. Here we go. Microsoft. I like the space that's forming on Microsoft, as you can see right here. That's not too bad, is it? And I like that it went up on heavier volume right here on Thursday, pulled back on less volume on Friday. By the way, true confession, I like 3-day and 4-day weekends. I think those are pretty good. We should have more of those. Let's continue onwards. Netflix. I like the base that's forming here. Support on the 8 EMA. You see this lower level spot right here? I'll show you something. You see this cup with handle? And I'll do something for you to help you. There's a cut, handle, goes up on heavy volume, pulls back. I drew the handle. What were we looking for? Take out this handle with really good volume. Look at the volume pickup. And that was a buy there, and it was bought. This was on the key list. VIPs are on it. There it is. And it's working. Note the trend. Note the trend up the 8 EMA. Note the trend up the 21 EMA. Look at the support on the 21 EMA. Ride trends. We're fine with it. Is there anything to really do with it right now? No, maybe it'll base a bit and then take out this high level spot. Okay, and I'll draw it for you just to give you a good idea. And I'm not saying it's going to. Okay, but it's something to take into consideration. What do you notice about this? This is a good education for everybody. Note this. This went up on heavy volume here, and now it's pulled back on less volume. Oh, they're not really selling it. Look at the green, look at the, I could ask y'all, what do you see? Look at the green bars and the red bars. Which bars are taller, the green bars or the red bars? Volume bars. Oh, the green bars are. Yeah, right. Up volume. The buyers are beating the sellers. Is it going to continue? I don't know, but at this point in time, there's more buying than selling. That's power. That's good to know. Continue onwards. NVIDIA. Great entry. We own NVIDIA from back here, okay? and we've been riding it back here. This had a higher low setup, and it's just working. It's basing again. Now here's the one risk with it, is it's made a large move, a really large move. I'm not saying it's not going to continue, but I am saying that's a large move. There's a little bit of distribution in here recently on the daily too, okay? So if you do buy here, just be cautious, all right? Just for what it's worth. There's Tesla. See this base right here on the weekly? Here it is on the daily. And look at the volume pickup on that bar. Do you see this right here? And I'll train our eyes and minds for us. Here we go. Well, it's just going sideways. Yeah, it's kind of a cup with a handle here. Maybe if it takes out these tops across here, it's a MAXLIST stock, right? Maybe that'd be a buy if there's volume. Oh, gee whiz, there was volume. Look at that bar. Look at this. Closes above the line, and it takes off. There you go. And here it is. And it's working. It's working. Let's see what it does. We're in it. Have sold some into strength. Monitoring it too with VIPs, 4 VIPs. We'll watch and see what happens. Price alerts are set. Look, up alert and down alert. I'd like this to base a little longer and then take off again. And we'll be ready. By the way, I already have alerts set. So we'll watch it and see what happens. Continue onward. Visa. What's Visa's sister stock? MasterCard. I showed you MasterCard just a minute ago. Visa doesn't look too bad either, does it? Basing up here. And look this. Up on heavy volume, down on less volume. And this really isn't a bad bar. Here's a great lesson for everybody. People say, oh, it's a red bar, it's a bad bar. Look at each price bar closely and look at the open, the high, the low, and the close. It opened, it gapped down, it opened versus the previous day's close. It dropped down, it fell, and it closed above where it opened. They were buying into here, folks. It closed above the open. They bought some. It had to. How could it not do that unless there were more buyers than sellers during the day? There you go. So now it's just resting, pulls back. Maybe it'll go across these tops. I'm not saying it's going to, but it's something worth watching.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.